Hey everyone, welcome to Life Groups. This is our spring quarter. We're so glad that you're joining us. Usually when I begin, I always try to start off our new life group with just a couple rules to play by when it comes to sharing. And first rule is have fun. Make sure that we're just having a lot of fun and building relationships with one another. The second thought is one of the things I always try to share with everybody. If you have a thought or you're sharing something or you're sharing an illustration, one of the things that we always want to remind everybody is not to embarrass, if you're married, not to embarrass your spouse, or don't embarrass another friend that's there. Make sure anything you're sharing is more about you than someone else around the group there. And the third thing that I would just encourage everybody to do is just be a part of it, be involved. Don't be shy to speak up and to share some thoughts. That's what makes Life Group really fun, is when we all start to be able to contribute and to share thoughts that are in our heart and to, as we dig a little deeper into God's Word. So hopefully you're ready to have fun today, and hopefully you've had some good little finger food or dessert, and we'll get started here with the very first question. And this is the question I want to ask you today. Now remember, I should also say this as well. We're running a week behind, so the group questions I'm talking to you about today is from the very first message of that we shared about the upside down, and we're talking about the Beatitudes in Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 13. And the first question I want to ask you today is this: why does Jesus declare people who are poor in spirit, who are mourning, and who are meek as blessed? Why does he declare them as blessed? And is he declaring them as blessed today or in the future, or both? Take some time to discuss, and I have a couple thoughts when we come back. Okay, hopefully you had some great discussion. A couple of thoughts I'll just share with you regarding that last question. Why does Jesus call those things blessed, which sometimes we would never consider blessing? But let me remind you that Jesus was really speaking to three different audiences. He was speaking to the disciples, he was speaking to the crowds, the group of people, and he also was speaking to the Pharisees. And when you think about being blessed, to the disciples, he was really talking about letting them understand that, hey, this is an upside down kingdom. You're living in an upside down world where the right kingdom is the kingdom of heaven, and what God values is going to be very different than what we see today. I think for the crowds, I think Jesus was giving hope. Blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are the meek. He's giving a hope to the crowd, to the hope to the people, that there's blessings coming their way. And then to the Pharisees, it's really a warning. Hey guys, what you think is valuable here on earth, and what you're putting value on, guess what? In the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be very different. So those are some thoughts for you to take and to think about. The second question that I want you to dive into here for the next few moments, discuss what merciful, pure in heart, and peacemakers mean. What does it mean to be a peacemaker? What does it mean to be pure in heart? What does it mean to be merciful? Take a few moments and just discuss that. I'm going to probably tackle one of those when we come back, but hopefully you have some great discussion. We'll see you back in just a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you had good discussion. I'm going to tackle the poor in spirit one just for a moment, that thought. What does it mean to be poor in spirit? And for me, you hear me say this on Sundays once in a while, I'll say, hey, we're not all that in a bag of chips. I think that's really what it means to be poor in spirit. It's so many times what happens in our life is that we think that we are all of that sometimes when we're serving at the church, sometimes when we're doing things in the church or for others, we're thinking like, man, God, look what all I'm doing for you. Instead of having the perspective, man, I'm serving because I'm so grateful for what all God has done for me. We should never reverse those. Look, God, what I'm doing for you. No. We're poor in spirit. without Christ, we have no hope. And with him, we have all hope. And to have that mental state, and the idea of poor in spirit, meaning that we're really bankrupt without Jesus, and that we do everything we do because of our love for him and our gratitude for all that he's done for our lives. Hopefully that brings some perspective to you today. Let me read you the final question. That we just have 3 questions today. Let me give you the final one. Discuss how do the Beatitudes help us in making better decisions. When we focus on the attributes of the Beatitudes, the values that the Beatitudes present to us, that Jesus shared with us there in Matthew 5, how does that affect our decision making? Take some time. I'll have a couple final thoughts before we dismiss tonight. Okay, well, hopefully you had great discussion. As I think about the Beatitudes for me personally, it's really what our series is all about, the upside down. It's understanding that we're living in an upside down world in comparison to the kingdom of heaven, which is right side up. And so many times what happens as we live in this world, we make a lot of our decisions based on the values of this world. And I really always need to balance my decision making, not so much on the values of this world, but what is valuable in the kingdom of heaven. And the Beatitudes shares to us, Jesus shares to us what is valuable in the kingdom of heaven. So when we make decisions, what we should really try to do is remember what it really means to be merciful and to be kind, all the different things that we walk through, how that will impact our life in our everyday decision making. Hopefully that makes sense to you today. Thank you for being a part of life groups. Come back next week. We'll have another series of questions to ask and discuss. Have a great week. God bless.